Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we are going to be going over the top 25 supercars that I think are absolutely freaking gorgeous, specifically supercars. So I feel like I never get to talk about supercars because obviously I never get to talk about supercars. I usually do cheap cars videos, and there are a lot, man, that I like. Like, I'm not sitting here saying like they're my dream cars or whatever, but I like them. I think they're freaking gorgeous. I don't know anything about what they come with because I don't research them, because again, I'm probably not going to ever own one day, so I don't look them up and stuff like that, you know. But I do think some of them are absolutely beautiful. So today we're gonna go with the top 25, in my opinion, most beautiful supercars of all time. Song of the day is Just Kidding. Oh my god, I keep freaking fooling you guys with that, man. You guys can't keep falling for that. You gotta stop. You gotta relax, man. So it's movie of the day now. You know this. Movie of the day is Pulp Fiction by Quentin Tarantino. Second time in 3 videos where there's been a Quentin Tarantino movie. Dude, safe to say I'm a Quentin Tarantino fan. My best friend Quentin, that's his actual name, his name is Quentin. His father named him after Quentin Tarantino, and his father was the first one to show me a Quentin Tarantino movie, actually, when I was a young little lad. I didn't really understand it at the time, but god, every movie he makes is just a banger. We did Django Unchained. Schindler's List is not Quentin Tarantino, but that's the other movie that we did so far. And today it's Pulp Fiction. Go watch Pulp Fiction. It's kind of weird, honestly, at first. You might be a little bit confused once you get the premise of it, that it's like going in reverse. You'll love it, but there are just so many iconic moments from that movie. It is an absolute banger, so go watch it if you haven't already. Without further ado, though, let's get right into it with number 25 of the top 25 most beautiful supercars, in my opinion. And that, my friends, is going to be going to the Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale. Don't know what all the whole Challenge Stradale part of that means. All I know is that it's called the Ferrari 360. There's also one called like the 360 Modena or Modena or something. Dude, I don't know. Alright, I don't know. The Ferrari 360, though, it's absolutely gorgeous. This takes me back to my Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 days. When I saw this thing racing around with the Lamborghini Murcielago, it is sexy. I'm not a biggest fan of Ferrari, if I'm being honest. There's only a couple Ferraris on this list. But there's no denying that the 360 is just perfection. Oh yeah, we're going to try and speed through the majority of these, by the way, because it's just a video talking about the car's looks, so there's not really much to say about them. And so we're just going to kind of go through them really quickly. And there's 25 entries, so I don't want it to be like a freaking 40-minute long video just about 25 cars. 24th place, though, is going to be going to the Lamborghini don't know how to pronounce this at all. Revuelto? I don't know. Either way, it's the new flagship Lamborghini. The Aventador is out the window, and this is the new one. I think it's way better than the Aventador. I was not a big fan of the Aventador. Spoiler alert, it's not on my list. I never really cared for it, man. I never really liked it. Even, yes, the SVJs, I wasn't a big fan of those either. The SVs, I think, are pretty nice, but the SVJs, I don't know. We never really cared for them. The Revuelto, though, it looks like a freaking Batmobile, and in person, they're even more gorgeous. They're so sexy. Coming in at 23rd place is a car that I also saw in person. There are a lot of these cars on this list where I haven't. For example, the Ferrari 360. I still, to this day, I've never seen a Ferrari 360 in person, and it drives me absolutely insane because it's a relatively common supercar. You know what I mean? It's still a supercar, but it's common compared to the other supercars, and I've still never seen one. Either way, 23rd place is the Jaguar XJ220. This thing is significantly more rare than the Ferrari 360, but I've seen one of these. They are so much longer in person than you would think, and they are so much sexier in person than you would think. They are like flat on the ground. They are literally like these very long, like catfish or something. They are such sexy cars. Coming in at 22nd place, I've seen a couple of these bad boys driving around now. But coming in at 22nd place, second Lambo of the list. Yeah, again, I'm a big Lambo guy when it comes to Ferrari. When it comes to the Lambo versus Ferrari thing, I think Lambos look better. I know, technically speaking, like motorsports-wise, obviously Ferrari is probably the better brand there. But looks-wise, I think Lamborghini looks better. And 22nd is the Lamborghini Gallardo facelift. The first gen or pre-facelift Gallardos, though, I am not a fan of in pretty much any regard. I don't think many people are. I think most people would agree that those cars are really not that good looking. But the facelifts, when they came out with the facelifts Gallardos, man, those things are freaking gorgeous. They are absolutely sexy. The Lamborghini, let me just put it out there, man. Lamborghini very rarely missed. Okay, almost every single Lamborghini is a sexy car, and that's why I think I like it better than Ferrari. Like, Ferrari has such a strong lineup. Don't get me wrong. They have so many freaking car brands at this point, car lines, whatever you want to call them at this point. But I don't think many of them hold a candle to some Lambos. Even like the more quote-unquote boring ones like the Gallardo, I think looks so much better. And coming in at 21st place, however, barely missing out on the wonderful top 20, is a car that's making its rounds on TikTok right now. I feel like every single TikTok enthusiast, TikTok car guy, is like hyping these cars up to the moon and back. They're like the new 911 GT3 RS, and they kind of deserve it. The Dodge Viper ACR 4th generation, or the newest, or the final generation of the Viper ACR that we've gotten so far. However, I know everybody's like, no, it's gone, they're never coming back. I guarantee they'll come out with another Viper at some point within our lives. Either way, yeah, the 4th gen ACRs are sexy. Now, spoiler alert, this is not my favorite generation looks-wise of the Dodge Viper, though. I know, there is one more on this list, but the 4th gen Vipers, there's no denying it. They are absolutely gorgeous cars, and their front engine, and they're American, gosh darn it, yeehaw! However, breaking its way into the top 20 is another car that I have seen in person. Oh yeah, that's another thing, by the way. I haven't seen an ACR Viper in person. I have seen 4th gen Vipers, but not the ACRs. But either way, 20th place, I actually have seen one of these in person. This is what I mean. How have I not seen a Ferrari 360, but seen an Aston Martin Valkyrie? For those who don't know, the Aston Martin Valkyrie is a street-legal Formula 1 car pretty much by Aston Martin. That's pretty much all you need to know about it. You'll see it on screen, obviously, you know what it looks like. They're like $3 million, and there's like probably only 50 of them in existence. I don't know exactly what number it is, but there's not a lot, okay? Not a lot at all. They are so cool. They are like everything that little kid me loved. It is such an aggressive, literally a race car for the streets, which is awesome. I feel like, how could you be a car guy and not think this is cool? Coming in at 19th place, though, is, in my opinion, like, honestly, kind of the Aston Martin Valkyrie before the Aston Martin Valkyrie, if you really think of it. It's not made by the same company, but either way, the Maserati MC12. The reason why I say that is because this was just another one of those, back in the 90s and 80s and stuff like that, car companies wanted to make really cool race cars, but in order to do that, they would have to make a certain number of cars that were legal to drive on the streets, and so they called them homologation cars. This is one of those. This car was literally a race car, but they made it for the road so they can enter the car into racing. It is literally a street legal, like, LMP1 car. It is so cool. Everything about it is so cool. I will say, I understand why, but I do wish the car came in different colors rather than just white and blue. I get the reasoning as to that, but I really want to see this car be like really cool. Like imagine a red and white one, that would be sick. But either way, they're freaking gorgeous, man. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, by the way, the Maserati MC12, I've never seen one of those in person, unfortunately. I really wish one day I can, though. Either way, coming in at 18th place, I've seen a couple of these in person. These ones are extremely... If I haven't seen one of these in person, I would be so freaking frustrated. These are so common, though. They're like one of the cheapest supercars in the world right now, and some people can argue they're not even a supercar and they don't belong on my list because they're so cheap, which I think is stupid. I hate when people like judge if a car is a supercar based on its price tag. I judge a supercar based on its performance. Does it have super good performance? Then it's a supercar. Not is it super expensive. That's not what I judge it on. Either way, 18th place is the Ferrari F355. There's something just so simple and so amazing about the F355 that makes me so happy, and it's got pop-up headlights. I saw multiples of these, but I did see one recently at a car show I went to with my friend Raph. Made a whole video about it. You guys go check that out. But it was modified to be like a track spec F355. Oh my god, it looks like the most fun car there. There was Lamborghini Revueltos, there was the Aston Martin Valkyrie was there was all kinds of hypercars, there was a Regera there were two Regeras, actually, there was a Jesko there was these insane $1 million hypercars, and the F355 looked like one of the most fun cars to me. That thing looked like such a blast. I freaking loved it. Speaking of which, coming in at 17th place is going to be going to the Koenigsegg Jesko. Yeah, I mean, oh my lord. Koenigsegg is just knocking it out of the park, man. I don't think there has ever been a single Koenigsegg in the history of Koenigsegg's lifetime that I did not like. Every single one of them are freaking sexy. The CC850, which is like the newest one, I would say, is probably my least favorite, and it's still a gorgeous car. The Koenigsegg Jesko is beautiful. You can call me a kid all you want. They are unbelievably gorgeous cars, and obviously performance wise they are quite literally the fastest car in the world right now, so they nail it in terms of performance too. They're one of the most iconic cars of our lifetime, and it shows. I love the Jesko in every single way. Also, when I saw the Jesko, again, I've only seen one of these in person, obviously, because it's only like probably two in the entire history of the Koenigsegg, but when I saw this car, my friend Raph brought up a good point. That at that point we had officially seen the same amount of Jeskos as we had SC300s together. That's like how it's so cool when you think about like the rarity of JDM cars. Like, I have seen in my lifetime more Lamborghinis, more Ferraris than I have SC300s. Isn't that weird to think about? I know it's just a random thing, and I'm just rambling, and I'm Mark, the mayor of Yapsville again here. But dude, I think that's just such a cool little fact to think about sometimes. Like, those 90s JDM cars that we all love are honestly more rare at this point to see on the streets than something like a Lamborghini or Ferrari. Either way, back to the actual video. Dude, I don't know how you guys watch me. The fact I've managed to garnish 124,000 people that were like, yeah, I want to watch this guy again, is mind-blowing to me sometimes. Like, how are you guys like, yeah, I want to go listen to this guy yap about nothing? 16th place is a Rimac Navara. It's a EV. I don't like EVs, and honestly, if I had the money to buy like a hypercar, and I actually wanted to buy a hypercar, because if I had the money to buy a hypercar, I would not buy a hypercar. I'd just buy like 50 Lexus IS300s. But if I was going to buy one, I would never buy the Rimac Navara, just due to the fact that it is an electric car. I'm not a fan of electric cars. I wouldn't want one. But looks-wise, oh my god, it's freaking sexy. The Rimac Nevera is gorgeous in every single way, and it's making it really, really hard for me to hate AVs. Also, guys, sorry especially for my yapping today, because today is also, I've explained this to you guys multiple times on the channel, but trauma dump time, not really, there's no actual trauma here, but dump time, I guess, big fat dump ski time. I got ADHD, and so sometimes I just, like, my brain starts to just, like, think about random things while I'm talking, and it, like, drives me nuts, because then I forget things that I'm talking about. I'm having one of those days today. I'm having one of those days where, like, I'm just forgetting about what I was just talking about, and it's driving me nuts, so that's why I'm rambling a lot today. 15th place is a Saleen S7. As a matter of fact, it took us 30 seconds to even talk about the Saleen S7. I'm sorry. I really am, guys. I'm sorry. I refuse to take medication, though. I don't want to do it. I feel like I'm scared of it. But the Saleen S7, man, Jesus, it's an American supercar. It's freaking gorgeous. Yeah, it's super low to the ground. It's awesome. I remember back when I was playing Midnight Club 3 Double Edition Remix, this was one of my favorite cars in that game. They're back. They couldn't stay away for too long. Coming in at 14th place is going to be going to the Lamborghini Diablo SV, whatever. It's the Diablo. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, dude, Lamborghini just nails it, man. I'm sorry. I think it's very hard to find a Lamborghini that doesn't look good. I like every Lamborghini. Even the pre-facelift Gallardos, yeah, they're not good, like, looking stock, but you can make them look incredible. The Diablo is absolutely sexy and one of my favorite 90s cars, period. I love every single thing there is to love about it. I like it significantly more than I like the Countach, and I know everybody else is going to hate me for saying that, but I would 10 times rather own a Diablo than a Countach. I love these cars. Coming in at 13th place, I've never been a big Porsche guy, okay? I've never really have. I always kind of thought they were a little bit overrated, at least in terms of their looks. I understand in terms of motorsports and in terms of their track performance, they're obviously really good cars, but in terms of looks, I've never really cared too much about them. But 13th place is going to the Porsche 911 GT3 991, specifically the GT3, not the Turbo S, not the GT3 RS, just the GT3. I love the added bonus of, like, the wider body of the Turbo S, and but while also having a good balance of aero between the GT3 RS and the Turbo S. Like, it's got a little bit more aero and it's definitely more aggressive than the Turbo S, but isn't super aggressive and extremely aerodynamic as the GT3 RS is, which I like better, man. I like this. It's a little bit more subtle. I'd rather own a GT3 than a GT3 RS. I'm sorry. And yeah, for those who don't know, the 991 is now officially my favorite generation of the 911. It used to be the 997, but after seeing a 997 in person directly next to a 991 when I went to that car show, I realized I like the 991 better. I think it looks better. Either way, coming in at 12th place, here it is. I told you guys there would be another one on the list, and this is it. 12th place is the Dodge Viper GTS, second generation, which is technically the first generation, but it's a facelift. It's really confusing because technically the first gen, which is like the Widowmaker one that everybody knows and loves, the one that was like a death trap, that is just a pre-facelift version of this car. That's called the SRI, and this one's called the SRII. But either way, everybody kind of refers to it as a second gen, and so I'll call it that too. It is unbelievably gorgeous, though. Unbelievably gorgeous. Like, the second gen, quote unquote's around that again, but the second gen Vipers are unbelievably good looking, in my opinion. Coming in at 11th place, from one American-made car to another American-made car, I used to be, like, literally the biggest fan of these when I was a wee little lad. This was, like, my Koenigsegg Jesko when I was, like, a 13-year-old. The Hennessy Venom GT. Not actually 13. I don't know when the Hennessy Venom became the fastest car in the world, but whenever that was, whatever year that was, that's how old I was, because I was born in 2000. So if it was 2014, I was 14. So yeah, however old I was when this car came out, this thing was awesome to me. The Hennessy Venom GT, still to this day, though, is absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. I already love Lotus Elises, and in my opinion, this just looks like an extremely long, extremely low, and extremely wide and aggressive version of a Lotus Elise, and I love that. I love everything about the Venom GT. It's sexy. However, breaking its way into the top 10 is a car that I have seen TikTok. Oh my god. Any of the unks out there, anybody that's like around my age, is gonna like want to punch a hole through their screen right now when I say this. But let me tell you guys a little bit of a fun fact. If you're not on TikTok, consider yourself blessed, because there are kids nowadays that say the Ferrari Enzo is one of the ugliest Ferraris of all time. How is that possible? Are you blind? No, it's not. The Ferrari Enzo is one of the best looking Ferraris of all time. It is sexy in every single way. Every single way. The Ferrari Enzo is damn near perfect. Like the FXX and the FXXKs, whatever they came out with after the Ferrari Enzo and like added on to the Ferrari Enzo. No, this is better. Coming in at 9th place, however, is probably the most surprising one of the entire list, at least to the point of where it is on the list, like all the way up here at 9th place. But I really freaking like these cars, man. I don't know what it is about them. I think they're gorgeous. The Aston Martin V12 Vanquish 2nd generation. I love them. Dude, I think Aston Martin, first of all, is extremely underrated. I understand why people don't like it due to the fact that they're horribly unreliable. They're a British car. Every British car is horribly unreliable. I get that. But in terms of looks alone, the V12 Vanquish, the second generation of it, is everything about it is great. The front end is great, the rear end is great, the side profile is great. These cars are insanely gorgeous, especially for its size. Usually I don't like the bigger supercars, and this is a big supercar, but I love this thing. Coming in at 8th place, though, is a little bit more understandable, I feel like. Actually, a lot more understandable. It's going to be going to the Koenigsegg Regera, or Regera? I don't know. Regera. I call it the Regera. I'm calling it the Regera from now on. This car, obviously, in terms of, like, dude, Koenigsegg makes some of the coolest transmissions. The CC850's trans, where it's like an automatic, but you can switch it into an H-pattern manual if you want to. And then the Regera's transmission, where it's just one extremely long gear, almost like an EV, but still with a gas engine, is just insanely cool. Like, this is just so cool. But the Regera's looks itself, oh my god, are sexy. Like, again, when I was at the car show, they had the Jesko parked next to the two Regeras, and even though the Jesko caught my attention a little bit, because it's the freaking Jesko, I was way more enthused by the Regeras. I think they look significantly better. They're such gorgeous cars. And coming in at the wonderful number 7 spot is, in my opinion, the best looking Ferrari ever made. It might sound basic. I don't really know. I'm not really into the supercar world, so I don't know if like people agree or disagree with me on these things. But for number 7, I went with the Ferrari 488 Pista. I think this is awesome because it's like a perfect combination of like a regular old 488 or a regular old 458, but with a nice enough amount of air. Like, I think that's Ferrari's main problem, is a lot of the time they go way too overboard with the aero and make it look a little bit too silly and like too aggressive, in my opinion. I get why, it's for track purposes, I understand, but I don't really care for when they look like that. But this one has a perfect combo of the two. Like, it looks like a regular old Ferrari, but with perfect amount of aero to make it look extremely aggressive too. I love the 488 Pista. And again, I'm not a big Ferrari guy, but this one stands out to me for sure. Coming in at the number 6 spot is the first one of the unholy trinity on this list, and only 2 of the unholy trinity cars are on this list. And since I just said the 488 Pista was my favorite Ferrari, that means you know what the other one is. But either way, coming in at the number 6 spot is the Porsche 918 Spider. Was I calling it the unholy trinity? If I was, I apologize. I don't know why I was calling it that. Either way, the Holy Trinity. The Porsche 918 Spider is sexy, and at first it was my favorite of the Holy Trinity, but over time I think I've definitely chosen the McLaren P1 over the 918 Spider. But this thing is still absolutely unbelievable. It makes it really freaking hard to hate hybrids when this car exists, alright? Like, this thing is just, oh my lord. How could you not love this thing? This thing is sexy. Another car, though, where I do wish they made them in other colors other than just silver. 5th place, I'm not mad in the slightest bit that they only made it in one color, because it works, gosh darn it. It is so unbelievably cool, and I'm so sick and tired of people acting like it's not. The Pagani Zonda Cinque, or Cinque, whatever you're supposed to call it, I don't know. I don't speak French. I don't know what word that is. I'm assuming it's French, because I'm assuming Pagani is a French brand. Either way, it's the Pagani Zonda Cinque, whatever. Oh, it's got like the Viper ACR striping thing on it, but on the Pagani Zonda, obviously with extremely aggressive aero. It has everything that makes Pagani great in terms of the like luxury aspect of it, while also having an aggressive feature to it. It is sexy. The Zonda Cinque is beautiful. Is oh my god beautiful, and I'm so sick and tired of people not talking about it. They talk about the Wyra or the freaking whatever that new one is, the Utopia. No, those are not worth mentioning when the Zonda Cinque exists. Coming in at number 4 spot, though. Yeah, it was obviously not going to be the last time we talked about Koenigsegg on this list, because Koenigsegg is just nailing it. I think most people would agree that Koenigsegg is like the coolest hypercar brand in 2025, and there's a reason for that. The Koenigsegg Agera, or Agera, whatever you're, again, I don't know. I call it the Agera. The Koenigsegg Agera RS was very similar looking to the 1-to-1, but I think the Agera RS looks better, and maybe it's just because the Agera RS comes in different colorways, and so I've seen more of them in like different colors and stuff like that, and so maybe that's why I like them better. But either way, I love it. I really am a big fan of the Agera RS, and yes, I like it better than the Regera. I like it better than the Jesko. I just like it that much, man. I think it is freaking unbelievably sexy. All right, in every way. Here it is, though, the other one of the unholy trinity. I did it again. Oops, I did it again. I don't know why I keep calling them the unholy trinity. It's the holy trinity. 3rd place, bronze medal, my 3rd most beautiful looking supercar of all time, and honestly one of the most beautiful looking cars of all time in my opinion, the McLaren P1. Yeah, we haven't mentioned a single McLaren on this list just yet. This is the first time we've mentioned McLaren. I think McLaren is actually like just destroying the competition right now when it comes to looks. Every single McLaren out right now is beautiful. They're starting to fall off a little bit though. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with the McLaren GT or the McLaren Artura. I don't think those are good looking cars. I think they should go back to their aggressive styling, like the 570 LT or 565 LTs or whatever they're called, 570Ss. Those look much better in my opinion, but the freaking P1 looks like a little wasp. It looks like a little hornet ready to go strike, and it's just so good. Coming in at second place, though, you guys, if you know me, you know how much of a fan of these I am. You probably thought they were going to be first place because I glaze them that much, and I really do love them, like, a lot. Again, I always, like, tell people, like, I'm not a big supercar guy, and I'm not. I stand by that. But there are some, where it's like, God, I want to own one of those one day. And second place is the Lamborghini Murcielago, and that is one of them. I always say my affordable dream car is a Mazda RX-7 FD. My dream car where, like, if I make it and I'm, like, you know, pretty successful, it's a Lamborghini Murcielago. And then my unobtainable, like, realistically, 99% of people will never get to own one of these, so I'm probably going to be one of those people, is the McLaren P1. But the Lamborghini Murcielago is just unbelievable to me in every way. I don't know how Lamborghini managed to make this in the early 2000s, and I don't know how no car company has managed to perfect a car like the Murcielago. It is perfect in every single way. I would rather have the Murcielago SB if I'm being honest, but even the base model LP610-4s, whatever they're called, are sexy. I love the Murcielago with all my heart, and I don't know why. I just do. I think they're freaking perfect. If it wasn't for this car, maybe Ferrari would be my favorite over Lamborghini, but I don't know. I love the Murcielago. Honorable mention for today, because I wrote out like all the entries and then read them back to myself and realized, uh-oh, I have some extras here, so I gotta do honorable mentions. So yeah, there's even more on a top 25 list. Sorry. First honorable mention, because there's actually two, is going to the Chevy Corvette C7. The reason why I put the Corvette C7 as an honorable mention and not on the real list, even though I actually do think this car looks better than like probably the first 10 cars on this list, I would say, is because there's definitely an argument to be made that the C7 Corvette is not a supercar. To that, I disagree heavily. I think its performance is obviously very, very close to a supercar, and so I think it deserves to be in the list, and I think they're absolutely gorgeous. My friend has one, and they are beautiful cars. The other honorable mention for today is actually going to be going to a car that most people probably never heard of, myself included, until like a couple months ago, and now it's one of my favorite looking cars of all time, the Venturi 400 GT. It's like a French Ferrari F40. It's so cool in every way. It looks like if a Japanese tuner car became a supercar somehow. That's what the Venturi 400 GT looks like, and it is sexy. I love it so much, but I wouldn't put it on my top 25, so that's the reason why it's an honorable mention. I did want to talk about it, but I don't think I'd put it up with like the likes of the other cars we've talked about so far. But either way, first place, it is managed to take over the number one spot. I saw one in person. To be fair, I've never seen a McLaren P1 in person. You know, to be fair, I think if I do see a McLaren P1 in person, I will probably poop in my trousers, and it'll most likely become my favorite car in the world again in terms of looks. But it's the McLaren 765 LT. Again, when I went to that car show, I saw one of these. I don't think people understand how incredibly gorgeous the McLaren 765 LT is. Like I said earlier, the McLaren P1 is my unobtainable dream car. The Lamborghini Murcielago is my, like, if I make it and if I get rich dream car, and then the FD-RX-7 is my affordable dream car. Well, the 765 LT is probably going to take up that spot for the McLaren P1. It is. I don't get it. How could you not like the 765 LT? Dude, I understand that most of you guys on my channel, and dude, I like this. I like it better this way. But most of the people on my channel are into the more affordable stuff, and me too. That is how I am. But you're lying to yourself if you look at this car and tell me you don't think it looks good. Like, I don't care who you are. You cannot say that. It is a beautiful car. It might not be your personal style, but it is beautiful. It is beautiful in every single way. It looks like a wasp, just like the freaking McLaren P1 does. But it looks like a shark too. It looks like a cougar or a puma ready to attack. It is so gorgeous. The headlights are gorgeous. The taillights are gorgeous. The way the rear wing pops up like a freaking praying mantis ready to strike or something is gorgeous. The body lines is gorgeous. It's so perfect in every way. The McLaren 765 LT is, in my opinion, the best looking car ever made right now. And there's the Murcielago and the P1, they come close, but I think I'll give it to the 765 LT right now. Maybe it'll change though. It always kind of does. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video of the top 25 best looking supercars in the world, in my personal opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great moment jumbo. I will be leaving a comment down below with my new YouTube channel where I'll be uploading any sort of just random videos. It's probably going to be like gameplay videos in the future, but I'll probably just use it to like yap, because as you guys can tell in today's video, I have a yapping problem, okay? I like to yap sometimes. I got diarrhea of the mouth, all right? There's just blah, 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 blah. There's always blabbing away over here. And I hate it. I hate that it happens because I know that it makes for a bad viewing experience when some guy's supposed to be talking about a McLaren P1 and instead he's talking about the board game Monopoly. Like, I know it's not fun to watch stuff like that and it drives me nuts, but hopefully that other channel will help fix that a little bit. I'll be able to just start yapping about things. The problem is I look at you guys as like, and I know every YouTuber says this, but I mean it, and I think every other YouTuber probably does mean it too. There's so many things where like once you become a YouTuber, you start to realize all these things that you used to be like, oh, that YouTuber is so fake for saying that. They actually weren't fake. They were saying what they actually meant, and it just kind of seems like it's because it's so cliche. It seems like it's just basic, but I look at you guys like my friends, okay? I look at you guys like I'm just talking to my boys about like what cars I like sometimes. And so that's why I start to go off track and just start to yap away about things. Like, dude, look, I'm in my pajamas, sure. Like, I just got out of the shower. I'm just talking to you guys like casually, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to like be all professional. And so when I start talking in the video, I get too casual, even though I should be professional considering it's kind of a job. And obviously being professional helps with views. And it just makes for a poor viewing experience, I'm sure. So again, that's why I made that channel. If you guys are interested, it'll be down there. We're not uploading anything on it yet, but in the future, maybe. I don't know. I'm not taking that channel seriously at all. There's not going to be any sort of theme, any sort of schedule or nothing like that, because again, it's just a channel for me to yap and just have fun with. So if you guys are interested, it'll be down there. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.